Hey, what's up guys, how we doing? Alright, welcome back to Billy Four Rock. So, in this one, out of pure curiosity, I wanted to see how good or how bad the cheapest, full-faced, road legal motorcycle helmet would be from Amazon. It's turned up, it's here. I've had a little look inside. This helmet cost £27. 27 quid. That's like a round of drinks in London. That's insane. And to be honest, it looks all right from my initial, just getting it out of the box and having a look. So without further ado, let's get the box open and have a butcher's. All right, so here we go. This is the name of it, the Agrius Rage. This is the Charger version. Can you see that all right? Let's see if I can focus you in a little bit. Bring it a bit close. There you go. This is in the pearl white and green color scheme. So let's have a look, see what we got. Well, first of all, for the price, it does come in quite a nice branded helmet bag, which is quite nice. Similar quality to the sort of Arrow ones, to be honest. Little drawstring bag. So let's take this off and have a look, have a butcher's hook. So inside you get, let's see, the usual sort of health and safety, owner's manual, care and maintenance, that kind of stuff. And in here, which is quite a cool thing, they give you these strip of like reflective stickers to put on your helmet should you want to. So that's quite a nice touch. There you go. All right, so here it is. Now, this isn't my usual color scheme, I must admit. It's not really my cup of tea in terms of, the design of it or anything like that. But I must admit, the actual paintwork on it is actually really nice. It's got a nice sheen to it. The white is a metallic pearl. Hopefully you can see that. If I turn this light down a little bit, there you go. They might show up a bit better. So yeah, let's go for the sort of basic build quality. To be honest, for £27, it actually feels really nice. There's no sort of sharp edges on it or anything like that. The build quality feels quite nice. The plastics feel okay, not brittle or anything like that. Quite good quality plastics. You can see it's got a bit of give in it, which is a good thing. So yeah, the really nice paintwork actually. It's a little bit, you can see where where they've printed it, but yeah, obviously you won't see that as you're going past. But yeah, really nice. So let's see what we got. We got a vent at the front, open or close, no middle ground there, no adjusting, and the same for the top, open or close on the top vents, and two exhaust vents at the back. So that's what we got in terms of ventilation. Removable visor, and also it is pin lock ready. It does have the pins in there, so it's ready to go. Yeah, nice stiff visor mechanism. Clunk, clunk. So those are your options. Fully open. What's that, halfway, and that's it. So fully open, halfway, or closed. Oh, it's got quite a heavy mechanism on it. Anyway, it's got a seal that runs around the edge there, keep it watertight. A little nose guard there as well to stop your visor steaming up, although if you had a pin lock you wouldn't really have to worry about that. So let's have a look inside. Oh, the mechanism is the ratchet type, which I'm not a massive fan of, but it is what it is. So how do you, oh, okay, pull to release. Oh, I'm sure that's easy enough to get used to. So let's have a quick look inside. Yeah, quite basic, as you'd expect. Doesn't seem to be any, there's mesh up there for the ventilation, but there's no holes in the top like there is on my next helmet. And also you see there's not much in the way of a cavity to put your ears in, so that might be a bit of a tight squeeze for your ears, but we're going to try it on anyway, obviously. And same for that side as well. So yeah, there is your basic look at it. Let's turn you around. Yeah, so I mean, you know, by the way, a little disclaimer, I'm not paid to review this. I didn't ask them, they didn't ask me. I just saw it and I thought it would be a nice test for someone. You know, a nice little review if you're in the market for a helmet and you just want to get a cheap helmet and just get out on the road, basically. So yeah, there's your road, there's your ECE, I believe is the European standard, and the dot, I believe, is the American standard. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that is the case. So that's the name of it again. That's the make Agrius, and this is the Rage. So yeah, it comes in a few different color schemes. The reason I got this one is this was the only one they had left in XL. This is a XL with a head size of, I think it's between 60 and 62 centimeters. And I haven't tried it on yet, so that'll be interesting to see. I'll tell you what I'll do. We're going to go out on the bike today anyway to give it a proper test to see how the ventilation works. But before I do that, let's try it on now. Right, hold on a sec. All right. It'll be interesting to see how I get to grips with this ratchet system. I've never had one on a helmet before. Okay, so the first thing I noticed straight away is my ears are a little bit crunched up, but a bit of wiggling and that's it, they're in. So like, yeah, so the cavity where your ears are isn't as big as it is with the neck. It's got like a nice deep cavity, obviously because you can put the speakers in there as well. But my initial thoughts are, it's actually very comfy indeed. I mean, there's a couple of tight spots just by the jawline. Not uncomfortable by any means, but it might start to be uncomfortable after a couple of hours. Nice wide field of view. Actually, that's really good. I can just about make out the edge of the edge of the helmet there in my peripheral vision. Just about. Nice and low. I can't see the nose guard at all, which is good. So that's actually, for £27, that is bloody good. Let's bring that down. Yeah, fantastic. The only problem, actually, that's not too bad, because usually I like to ride with the visor up and the sun shield down. This helmet doesn't have a sun shield. It wouldn't do. It's £27, like I said. But this comes about halfway, and it's, for me, that's just a little bit too much in line for my field of view. That's like right in my vision. That is that line. So if you're riding like that, it'd be okay. But if you've got an upright bike like mine, that might get in the way. That's a minor thing. If there was another adjustment where it was sort of like there or there, then that'd be good. But that's your only option you got, either open, halfway, or closed. I must say, it does close with a pretty hefty clonk. Look at that, look, ready? And then, blimey. God, that'll wake you up. But anyway, yeah, I actually really like this. Feels comfy. It's getting a little bit hot in here, so I think what we'll do is we need to head out on the road, get a camera on here, mic it up, see how the ventilation works, and we'll come back and we'll give it a proper rundown, see what we think. But my initial thoughts so far, for 27 quid, it actually looks quite good. I'm actually getting into this colour scheme. I'm a changed man. Woo! All right, let's get out there. All right, let's give this bargain basement beauty a proper test run. So my initial feelings about the lack of ear cavity is kind of I'm noticing it now. But like I said, it's not painful or uncomfortable. I just noticed that it's not there. So I'm sure that's something I would get used to if I had to. Just open these vents up. Yeah, I mean the vent is nice and easy to get to. It's got a nice sort of defined little clip there. I just realised I haven't got my bloody gloves on. What a moron. But anyway, yeah, easy enough to open. Let's go this way. We'll get a bit of speed going just to see how well these vents do. Don't believe I forgot my gloves. I never do that. Anyway. Alright, here we go. Let's bring this down. Yeah, so if I wanted to ride with this visor down, or halfway I should say, I'd have to tilt my head a little bit, because if I'm up like that, which is my riding position normally, I can see the edge of the visor, which is obviously not very safe. So let's bring that down. But so far, again, initial thoughts, pretty comfortable for a brand new helmet. I mean, it's not as comfy as my Nex X-Wed 2, but I haven't had a helmet that's as comfy as that ever, I don't think, so that's a high bar to meet. Yeah, it's a very strange noise, like a kind of I don't know what it is, like a clicking or something tapping. Yeah, I mean, you can see without the pin lock visor, look how quickly that steams up. I'll tell you, a pin lock visor is an absolute godsend. It's pretty noisy. It's not excessively noisy, it's not too bad. My Nex is definitely quieter. I mean, when you pull the visor down on the Nex helmet, or even my old Arai, excuse me, you kind of get a sense of being cocooned inside. Whereas this, there's definitely a bit more wind noise. But like I said, it's not bad. It's just more of it. In terms of the ventilation, let me just close everything off. Okay, so closed. Yeah, I mean there's still a bit of wind coming up underneath this chin guard, but it's not bad at all actually. So I'm going to see what it's like when I open them up. I always ride with the vents open anyway. I mean, you can barely notice the wind coming in there. Obviously there is some, because there's now a hole at the front. Yeah, I can notice it, but it's not as apparent as when you open up the vents on the Nex, when you get these huge gulps of air coming in. So they do work, but they're not great. They're not high end, which is fine because it's not a high end helmet. So, but they're not bad at all. I can feel them working, which is the whole point. But they just don't work as well as a more expensive helmet, which is kind of stating the obvious really, but there you go. But I mean, in terms of actual buffeting, it's a pretty breezy day out today. It's not excessively windy, but if I put my helmet above the visor, there's not a great deal of buffeting at all. It's actually quite a smooth ride. Bearing in mind my normal helmet has the peak on it, which adds a little bit to the buffeting. But yeah, it's quite a nice, comfortable, buffet-free ride really. Quite nice. That's my sort of normal position right there. Yeah, it's nice and smooth, nice and aerodynamic. If I was going to do a long trip on a motorway, a couple of hours, then I would definitely have to put some earplugs in, because I can notice the difference in the noise. There's definitely a difference. especially when I get a bit of speed up. You can notice the wind. You can actually hear it around here. It's kind of swirling around a bit. But for £27, what an absolute bargain. Honestly, I mean, how much must it cost to make? Unbelievable. £27. I mean, if you was a new rider, and like I said, your budget was low, then you'd be well chuffed with this. Well chuffed. I'm impressed. I must admit, I'm well impressed. There's a few niggling things, but we'll talk about that when we get back to the old man cave. So what I'm going to do now is just to make sure that sort of crackling weird noise isn't the helmet. I'm going to take this camera off and ride back with it doing the same speed, just to double check. So I'm going to turn off here. I'm pretty sure it must be the camera because I can kind of hear it over there, kind of thing. Alright, let's pull over here. Oh, this camera keeps flopping down for some reason. Ah, the little screw is loose. Shit. Alright, let's see how this ratchet thing works. How'd you do it? I like that. Oh, that's quite straightforward. Oh. Yeah, you can definitely, you can feel the difference in the ventilation. When I took that off, my head feels quite warm, quite a little bit sweaty, whereas you don't get that on the next. Anyway, let's take this camera off and we'll do another ride going back down the A2. Right guys, it's a little bit later on in the day. I had to have a shower. It's so hot and muggy today. It's just totally uncomfortable. So check it out. Woo, big budget. Got the old whiteboard out. So I was going over in my head the positives and the negatives, but I just wanted to put them down on paper, so to speak, and show them to you and go through each one and give you my opinion of it. So first of all, the positives. Yes, it's very cheap. £27 is pocket money for a full face road legal helmet. If you've got a tight budget and you want to get out on your bike, obviously you have to wear a helmet, and you want to do it quick and easy and just get out there, 27 quid, you're laughing. Low buffeting. This is noticeable at speeds sort of 50, 60, 70 miles an hour. Very smooth going through the wind there. Obviously there's a lot of parameters that come into play here. For example, things like the type of bike you're riding, your seating position, whether you're leant forward or sitting up, the type of bike that you ride, the screen, and obviously how tall you are affects all these things. But for me personally, 6'2", 6'3" on a Triumph Explorer, no buffeting, well, some buffeting, but very low. Good field of view, yeah. As with the necks, you get a lovely wide parameter of vision. You don't hardly ever see the sides of the helmet in your peripheral vision. Whereas with other helmets, even Arris that I've had, you can actually see that. And it's not until you get a helmet that doesn't have it, or has very little of it, you realise just how good it is and how important it is. Pin lock ready. So yeah, come winter time when the visor starts steaming up, chuck a pin lock on there and you'll be laughing throughout the all of winter. You'll get no fog on your visor. All right, those were the positives. Let's have a look at the negatives. Noisy, very, very noisy with the wind noise. Even though there's no buffeting, as in, you know, your head's knocking around, it's nice and smooth. There is a lot of wind noise coming through here. And there's also that weird I don't know, like a crunching, tapping noise on the side of the helmet. It wasn't the camera or anything like that, because I took it off. You saw me take that off and ride home without it. The exact same noise was still there. No idea what that is. The ventilation was awful. I mean, even after that 15-minute ride, my head felt like a boiled egg. It was hot and sweaty and comfortable in there. And when you take the helmet off, it's all kind of grippy, and because your head's all sweaty, it's not pleasant. So with that in mind, the ventilation in mind, this helmet would be ideal for sort of, you know, just a little 30-minute ride to your mate's house, and anything more than you couldn't tour with this helmet. You could not tour with this helmet, especially in weather like it is today. It's just too uncomfortable. You couldn't do it. So ideal for little short rides. The construction inside, so as I took the helmet off, the lining, as you can see, worked its way loose. Well, it wasn't attached in the first place, so yeah, that's not good. The visor doesn't shut, as in a ratchet system. It's either fully open, in your field of view, or completely closed. Again, not good. I like to ride with my visor open and my sun shield down. This doesn't have a sun shield, obviously. It's only 27 quid. Noisy visor mechanism. Yeah, it's just really kind of clonk, clink. And I'm not pushing that down hard. That's just the system doing it by itself. And I can't see that lasting very long either. That's going to work its way loose, and that's going to be flapping around like no one's business. Not ideal for long days riding. Yes, like I said before, just purely because of the ventilation issues. It's just, yeah, half an hour tops. For me, anyway. If you can handle more than that with this helmet on, then, you know, more power to you. Yeah, too hot and sweaty. That covers that point as well. So, there you go, guys. Yes, it's £27. Yes, it looks all right. You know, if you're a new rider, 18, 19 years old, you want to get out on the road and you want to do it legally and properly, it's not too bad for that purpose. Just little half an hour here, 10 minutes there to the pizza shop and back. It's okay for that. But if you're planning on doing long trips, this is not for the seasoned kind of experienced biker. If you went from, I don't know, an Arai Tour X4 and then you put that on, you're going to have the shock of your life. It makes me realise the more you spend on a helmet, you really do get what you pay for. The necks feels like you've got a spar on your head. This thing feels like you've got a saucepan of boiling hot water. But it's only £27. Got to keep reminding myself of that. It's only £27. The next was 360 or something like that. But it is £360 better than this. That's the way you got to look at it. Anyway, there you go. Ideal for first time riders who want to get out on the road, little half hour blasts here and there. But other than that, I tend to stay clear. All right, guys, that is it. I'll leave that up there for you to have a look, and I'll see you all very soon. Take it easy, guys. Adios. Bye.